Hello everyone, my name is Joni Hattuniemi and I'm from Valmet Automation, which is located in Kajaani, which is about 200 kilometers northwest from here. So geologically pretty much in the center of Finland, but actually in the middle of nowhere. My topic today is predicting product quality by utilizing imaging measurements, soft sensors and modeling. And the product we are looking at today is paper. The outline of the presentation is first introduction, then talk about wood fiber properties, then principle of utilizing this modeling in a paper mill use, then a concept of modeling, and some example results. And finally, conclusions. So, why to make better paper? Of course, customers want better quality. And they can get energy savings, save money with less refining. So we want to break the fibers to get some properties, but not too much refining, of course, because it takes much energy. Then we can get production efficiency for our customers, paper machine runnability related and less web breaks, and also printing is easier with certain kind of quality. So what makes quality paper? One key factor here today is strength. Paper strength. So how to make strong paper? Paper is a strong web of wood fibers, as we know. So these fiber properties must have an effect on this web strength. About wood fiber properties then. Here we have a microscope image of fibers. We can measure this kind of parameters or properties from these wood fibers. Length, something like 1 to 2, 3 millimeters, for example. And width is about 10 to 30 micrometers. And we can also measure this kind of, this curliness of the fibers. They might be curly like curly hairs. And also there are some tiny particles related. And then, for example, fibrillation. This is very important in the strong paper. So if we refine the fibers, the outer layers of the fibers peel off and make these kind of tiny hairs which are attached to fiber. So for example, those. And there are interdependencies between these properties and the paper quality. Some of them are mechanical, like strength, and some of them are optical or stuff like that, which are interesting and very important to our customers. So how do we measure these fiber properties? We use imaging technology. We have lighting, we have camera, we have fibers here in between, and we get a nice image of fibers from where we can measure these fiber properties. So how about modeling the paper strength out of those properties? We need data, of course. We need those fiber properties measured in the paper mill. We need data from the mill system also. Then as a reference, we must have a laboratory measurement for the paper strength for which to compare our measurements. and make the model. We have a soft sensor software tool, which is basically software which acquires the data and processes it and combines the data as we like. Then we have this modeling tool which utilizes multivariate data analysis. We get the data from the soft sensor to modeler, and our modeler gives a nice model back to our soft sensor. And then our soft sensor utilizes that model, those measurements we have made from the fibers and the reference measurements from the laboratory, and we get a strength estimate out of those fiber properties. And we can put it into mill information system for maybe for controlling the system. So what do we need to make a good model which predicts this paper strength? We need a stable process, so there shouldn't be much variation, natural variation in the process, and no disturbances. Then we make unit process changes in controlled steps. So we make some change and see the reaction in the fiber properties and in the strength, paper strength. We need data for modeling. We measure these properties of this paper raw material, and we measure the physical properties of paper, which is the tensile index, which is done in laboratory, and it's standardized method. And we have the soft sensor, and also we have the model. And we have to pick the right variables found by imaging technology, and then we can get this modeling ready. So the big picture is when we start to make this whole modeling system build up and make the step changes in the process and gather data and make the model. So here is the big picture. So first we have this stable process. We make the installations and specifications for the system, and we acquire data. We confirm what are the variables for this model. We plan the step changes. The second phase is the modeling itself. We make those step changes in the paper mill process. We make simultaneously laboratory analysis for the paper strength, acquire data, and then we make a preliminary correlation study. So what are the right variables to use for modeling? And finally, we validate the data. How does the model work? We make, again, step changes, acquire data, laboratory measurement, and we are ready. And then, finally, we see the results. So here we have the tensile index. This is the time period. These are just measurement points. Those are not dates or weeks or so. So here we have this so-called calibration period when we gather data and make the measurements and tune the model. So the blue one is the estimate from the modeling, from the soft sensor, and the green one is the laboratory measurement. Then we have these validation periods. We gather data and see how well the model estimate goes with the real tensile index. And it seems to be working pretty nicely in this case. This is a real case, yeah. And we don't need an exact values in all the time, all the measurement points, but basically the level is more important. And then conclusions. So this predicting product quality, in this case paper strength, can be done by modeling, as I described. The basis of the modeling in this case is a stable process and unit process changes in controlled. And we measure the raw material of paper, wood fibers, by imaging technology. Then we measure the physical properties of paper with laboratory reference measurements. Then we should have right variables chosen for modeling, that we have a good model. And to conclude, imaging technology, soft sensors and modeling can be utilized for quality prediction in many other ways as well. This was just one example. Okay, thank you very much.
What kind of technology or measurements from the photonic side or machine vision you are needed? So, of course, you are developing yourself, but also what is the needed at the moment?
I guess sometimes there are questions about how about three-dimensional images of fibers. That would be interesting, but right now there is no actual need for that, but it would be interesting.
How about the accuracy of the measurements, so that there is the fiber? So is it needed to more accurate, more detailed information about the fibers?
We have pretty good accuracy, and we have developed it in the past years because the cameras have developed a lot. But of course there is always a need to measure smaller particles. But I guess we are now in the level that, because we are using visible light, we cannot go much deeper anymore with the visible.
Yeah, because I think that there is the new application for the fibers, so I think that there is something. But
yeah,
but there is a question.
How about applying this system to different kinds of pulps, so making paper from different kinds of pulps? Do you have much work to adjust to, for example, from chemical pulp to mechanical pulp or some these kind of issues?
Yeah, this measuring is similar in those cases. It's not different, but when we come to some kind of modeling, of course it depends what's the raw material and what is the what you want to model.
So this was for chemical pulp now?
Yeah, yeah.